Oh, camera shut off. Battery died. Part 2, Leo. So if you're here to watch part 2, we're going to continue. So it's interesting that the camera died. Center of your reading, you have the Death card. So something in the present moment has literally died. Like it's literally died for you, right? Is there sadness connected to this? Absolutely. There's so much sadness here. For some of you, this is a separation. For others of you, this is the fact that maybe one aspect of your life has died out. Maybe, you know, something that you were very much connected to, it's no longer functioning anymore. Maybe there was a layoff. Whatever the case is, something here has come to an end or is coming to an end in the present moment. Let's clarify. Okay, so bottom of the deck, you have the Two of Wands, and you have the Two of Wands in the center of the reading. So there's definitely a separation, okay? There's either a difference of opinion, separation where you're in different areas than this person. Maybe you're in one area, they're in one area. Maybe you're having a crossroads in your life right now where you have to make an important decision. So let's talk about this. Why is it happening? What is it that you need to know? So in the present moment, you have the Death card, and the Death card is talking about a transformation, something here that is no longer functioning for you. Maybe it's a behavior, maybe it's an attitude, maybe it's a person, maybe it's an environment, maybe it's whatever, it's a thing, right? That is clarified by the Eight of Swords, the Seven of Wands, and the King of Pentacles. I think a lot of you right now in the present moment, there's a lot of disappointment. Okay, I'm getting that immediately. I'm getting this strong energy of I'm disappointed. I can't believe this happened. A lot of you in the present moment feel alone. You feel alone, okay, in the present moment. There is this energy also in the present moment after this ending that has taken place. There's a lot of this, it's like you're putting a barrier up, right? You're saying, I'm not going to be open to just anybody anymore. I'm not going to be giving to just anybody anymore. It's almost as if you don't want to be alone, but there's a need to be alone during this change or transformation that's taking place. Has a lot to do with your resources. It has a lot to do with how you give maybe to people, how you are generous with certain people, how you're open to certain people. It's as if you have to try to keep up with something here and you're tired of keeping up with it. So you just feel, you know what, instead of me faking this or pretending, I'd rather just be alone. Even though it's hard to be alone, maybe it's better for me to be alone, at least for now. So that's what I feel is happening for many of you right now. There's definitely something here that happened that disappointed you. Maybe there was more than one person involved here. That is clarified by the Tower, the Emperor, and the Queen of Pentacles. Yes. So what you're realizing in the present moment, Leo, is that in order for you to feel stable and grounded, you need to recognize what relationships, what people, what environments are not serving you anymore. And this has a big, big, big thing connected to Saturn and Neptune moving into Aries, because it's going to be trining your sun, your moon, or rising, which means you're going to start to become more in this energy of structure. This is what you're realizing, because the reason why certain things in your life are happening is because maybe you were too loose, you were too open, you were too, oh, it's fine, everything's fine, it's okay, go here, do this, do that, only to realize that it actually hurt you in the end. This is connected to your resources, your money, your environment, how structured you are, how unstructured you are, how much you let people get away with stuff. There's something here in the present moment that because you weren't in the Emperor energy, because you weren't looking at your resources and you were just kind of letting things happen randomly, more or less array, that's probably a better word to say, you know, letting things go astray. It's led to this disappointment. So there's a lesson here in the present moment. Many of you are going to be rebuilding your life. Okay, if you haven't already started, many of you are going to rebuild your life, and it's going to be better than it was before. The Two of Wands is talking about you separating yourself from certain people, separating yourself from certain behaviors, separating yourself from certain environments, people, etc. You are looking at certain relationships in your life. I don't care if they're romantic. I don't care if they're platonic. People in general, because remember, we just had the full moon in Leo, and that I think was opposing Pluto directly. So there was definitely something here that happened with somebody, okay? And it was toxic. It was unhealthy for you. It was toxic. It was unhealthy. And it led you to look at the situation and say, ooh, I need to remove myself from that. I need to remove myself from that. And I need to figure out something here came to your attention, and it is coming to your attention in the present moment. And you're realizing, you know what? There has to be something better than this out there. Whoever this person is, people or person, etc., they're toxic, unhealthy, not good for you. Pluto is in Aquarius opposing the moon because it's showing you that this person or these people that you've attracted into your life, they're going through changes. Whoever this person is, they're going through changes, and they will have to change, right? So unfortunately, you are the person that had to experience this. You had to experience this person going through some sort of transition or change, and it had an effect on you, and it affected your life, and is still affecting your life in the present moment. So I think a lot of you are turning your back on somebody here who's toxic, a person or a situation. The reason why you're doing this is because it's finally coming to light. And out of all of these experiences that you've had, number one, I see you rebuilding your life in the present moment. I see you telling yourself, you know what, it's better for me to be on my own rather than engaging with the wrong people and the wrong situations, assuming that they have their best interest for me when they really don't. We know that certain people here don't have their best interest for you, but you keep giving them chances, or you keep being open to them, or you just keep being that person who unfortunately is the bearer of the brunt, meaning you may experience things that you shouldn't have to, but you do, right? So in the present moment, I feel that you're going to realize, the Sun and the Seven of Cups, that you have options, you have choices. You don't have to just engage with one type of person or one situation. You can keep your options open. And I think the reason why this toxic behavior happened was because you're so focused on one area, one person, one group, one situation, when really you should be open to all varieties, right? So that's what I see happening in the present moment. You're rebuilding your life. You're going to be more structured. Once Saturn enters into Aries, it's going to be great for you because it's going to trine your Sun, and you're going to be more selective with the people and the situations that you choose to engage with. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing for you in the present moment. Now let's talk about the near future. Okay, so in the near future, like I said, and I see this already in the present moment for you, you're focused on yourself. A lot of you don't want to be alone. A lot of you in the present moment are saying, I don't want to be alone. I don't like to be alone. And even if this isn't you, let's say you're watching this and you're saying, oh, I don't feel alone, I have a bunch of people around me. Well, then maybe it's somebody that you were dealing with that feels alone in the present moment, that they don't want to be alone. But either way, I feel like I'm talking to you, Leo. In the near future, even though you decide in the present moment to be on your own, in the near future, you're on your own, okay? But you're on your own because you're tired of giving people chances here. You're tired of giving and giving and giving and doing and doing and doing, and it doesn't lead to anything, okay? So what a lot of you are doing is, I see you really, like, emotionally, you're guarding your emotions here in the near future. You're not really going to let people know how you feel about them. You're not going to really smile a lot here. You're not really going to be in this energy of like, hey, I'm Leo, I'm here, everybody. And maybe that's how you usually are. But because this shift and transition is happening with Neptune in Aries and Saturn in Aries, your shift is shifting. Your life is shifting. You're becoming more, okay, what is important to me? What is good for me? How can I focus on myself? I do feel that you are going to give something or someone a second chance here again in the near future. And this is where you need to be careful, okay? Because there will be a moment in time where you're really focused on yourself and you're really like, again, not expressing your emotions. There's something here about, no, I'm not going to let this person know how I feel. I'm not really going to open my thoughts or my feelings or my emotions to them. But then I see you changing that. And this is where you need to be careful, right? And that's why your challenge is the Judgment with the Four of Cups, because somebody can say something to you, Leo, and it just sweeps you off your feet. And this is where you have to be careful, right? Because a lot of you are very, very gullible, especially when somebody compliments you. Somebody says, oh, Leo, you know, you're amazing, you're great, I love you, I can never stop. You know, immediately you melt. So you have to be careful with how people express themselves to you, and really ask yourself, does this person have my best interest? Are they being genuine with me? And that's why a lot of you right now in the present moment are focusing inward, because you cannot expect the love that you expect from other people, or you cannot expect the love that you should give to yourself from other people. And I know we all want that, right? We all want people who are honest and genuine and nice and kind and caring, and they're willing to lay a red carpet out for us. But not everybody's willing to do that. Even though they may tell you they're going to do that, it doesn't mean that they're actually going to do that, right? And this is what you're learning here in the near future. So I see you need to be careful, because you're quick once somebody says something that pings your emotions or your feelings. The message here in the near future is, don't be quick to jump on something just because you don't want to miss out, right? Some of you are quick to jump on things because you have FOMO, right? It's like, oh, I'm fear of missing out. Let it go. If it's for you, you don't have to chase it. You don't have to feel antsy about it. You can just be in your natural energy and flow, and it will be there for you. So this is something that you need to be careful of here in the near future. I'm also getting with the Seven of Swords, again, people who come around and they tell you one thing, but they do something completely different. Oh, I love you, I care about you. But then when they come, you know, towards you, there's no action that shows that they actually love and care about you. Somebody here is a cheater, a liar. Again, if you're taking back somebody who's a cheater and liar, don't expect this person to change, because they won't, okay? A commitment here, somebody that you've been married to, liar. Love bomber for some of you. Somebody here, they come into your life in the near future, okay? And again, I don't want to manifest this for you, but this is the same thing that happened in January. Somebody comes in and they're abusing and they're taking advantage, and you need to have your guard up. Once somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Once somebody shows you who they are, don't give this person second, third, fourth, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 100 chances. Believe them when they show you who they are. This is what you're learning here in the near future. And now, if you watch my videos and you've been subscribed for many years, then you'll know when I tell you something and it happens, you don't have to come back 2 months later, which many of you do. You come back 2 months later and you're like, oh my God, Monica, you told me this. Yeah. There isn't a reason why I've been here and I have so many subscribers. I have subscribers because I'm accurate in my readings. So I don't want to sound full of myself, but Leo, I'm from one Leo to another Leo. You need to be cautious of people here in the near future, especially with Pluto transiting Aquarius, especially if you have a sun, moon, or rising in Leo, because you're going to be tested by people here who they're very ruthless. Pluto energy is very ruthless. It's very cutthroat energy, okay? So Pluto is very, how do I put it? Pluto is very, it's very obtruse or obscure. Obscure is the right word. It's a small, tiny planet, but it has a very big package, okay? So in the near future, I see you choosing. You're gonna have a meeting with yourself, Three of Wands and the Queen of Wands. You're gonna be alone a lot here in the near future because you're going to go within. There's a strong, it's almost like when I close my eyes and I'm going through a tunnel. Whenever I try to fall asleep, it's like I'm going through a tunnel. And you're going so deep within yourself that a lot of you are going to realize, you know what? I need to disconnect from something. I need to disconnect from this situation because mentally, you're going to come to a conclusion that mentally it's time for you to disconnect from something. Something that you've been paying attention to you've been paying attention to something that really doesn't deserve your attention. Judgment is your challenge. What am I paying attention to that I really shouldn't care about, that I really should just whatever, I should just forget about it? You're going to forget about something here in the near future. The reason why you choose to disconnect from a marriage, a friend, a commitment, liars, cheaters, stealers, people who pretend that they like you, but really they don't want anything to do with you, but they have to be nice to you because there's something that you have and they want it from you. When you start to realize that you don't need these people, you don't need this situation, and you finally decide to move on, there's going to be a way better opportunity that comes in. There's a door that's finally going to open for you. And you're going to watch this and you're going to say, Monica, how long is it going to take before my life improves? It's going to improve when you let go of the garbage. And I've been saying this since the beginning of 2025. And a lot of you didn't let go of the trash. You kept accumulating it and holding on to it and hoping it was going to change and it was going to get better. And it just shows you more and more that it's not meant for you. And things will change, I promise you. You have to be patient with yourself. Because they're not changing now, you're upset, you're pissed off, you're annoyed. Well, it should have changed by now. We're not in the new year yet. We're not in the new year yet. We're still in the snake year. You're still shedding this trash. You know, it's like when your body detoxes, right? You feel sick. You know when you feel sick and you start detoxing. Well, you don't feel better once you start detoxing. It takes a while before you start to feel better after you started detoxing. So this is what a lot of you are going through. But I promise you, by the end of February, a light is going to switch on. And you're going to say, you know what? I have to leave this situation. I have to completely let it go. Because all it's doing is holding me back from my abundance. Yeah. Okay, so this is what I see for you, Leo. It's an intense reading, but it is one that you needed to hear. Let's get some advice for you. Your biggest piece of advice is the Sun, the Knight of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. Your biggest piece of advice here is not to ignore your intuition. The Knight of Cups is an intuitive energy, okay? It's cup energy, it's emotions. A lot of you have switched off your feelings. Oh, I shouldn't think that of this person because, you know, maybe I'm just assuming, or, you know, I shouldn't really feel this because, you know, maybe I'm feeling the wrong feelings. You have to recognize when your emotions are trying to tell you something, when your feelings are trying to tell you something. Don't look away from something that you feel you need to be looking at or you need to pay attention to. That's your challenge. Your challenge is the judgment. When something comes up, when you see somebody's a liar, when you see somebody over analyzing you, when you see somebody doing the most, when you see somebody doing something that you never really thought that they were going to do, pay attention to that. Pay attention to the negativity. Pay attention to the things that are going wrong. Don't just gloss over them and say, oh, this will improve. It's not such a big deal. It is a big deal. There's a reason why it's happening, because it is a big deal. Just remember you're a Leo, and the Leo is connected to the Sun, and the Sun does what? It sheds light on things, especially darkness. So when you start to emotionally shed light on things and you start to receive communication, which you have been, you've been receiving messages, information, communication, you're ignoring them. Somebody here's a liar, but you know what? I'm going to give them a chance. Somebody here's a narcissist, but I'm still going to open myself up to them. Somebody here looks at me the wrong way. Oh, but you know, maybe that's just me overthinking the situation. No, those are signs and information that you can harness in order to create information to understand whether or not that's something that you should pursue. I hope this is making sense. Okay? Because when people look at you a certain way, when they reject you, when they lie, when they leave you, when they abandon you, when they fight you, when they argue with you, when they do all of these things, they don't really have your best interests at heart. Somebody who has your best interests at heart is going to go out of their way to help, not to ruin you, okay? And this is what you need to realize. You need to recognize and realize that when somebody doesn't recognize who you are, leave them and move on to a bigger and better opportunity. That's your biggest piece of advice. Don't ignore your intuition. Don't ignore it. There's a reason why your feelings are there. There's a reason why you're seeing things that maybe you don't really want to see, but you need to see them. And at that point, you need to make a decision. Should I stay or go? But if you stay in a situation that you know is unhealthy for you and isn't good for you, you don't have anybody else to blame but yourself. So please don't continue to do that to yourself. Recognize when something isn't for you and let it go and move on, so that bigger and better opportunities that are actually in alignment with you will come through to you. Okay? Leo, this is what I have for you. I hope this reading helped. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.